Hey, how's it going? In this video, we're looking at how to set up ServiceMate Phone in your business. ServiceMate Phone is a smart, cloud-based phone system integrated with your ServiceMate account and connecting your work phone with your clients and jobs. If you haven't already, check out our separate overview video for ServiceMate Phone. This video covers the setup process. We'll go through how the system works, what you need to use ServiceMate Phone, and step through the setup wizard, including what happens with phone calls after hours, whether you want to record calls, setting your welcome and voicemail messages, whose phones ring when a customer calls, installing ServiceMate Phone on your devices, then testing it out, and how to use ServiceMate Phone with an existing number. Let's first cover the basics of how it works. ServiceMate Phone is a cloud-based VoIP phone, that is, Voice over Internet Protocol, meaning you're making phone calls over the internet. You can make and receive work calls through the ServiceMate Phone app and through the online dashboard via the Google Chrome extension. You'll be issued a new ServiceMate phone number as part of the setup process, and you have options around how to use this number. You can adopt it as your new business phone number or divert your existing business number to your new ServiceMate number, letting you keep your established number while benefiting from ServiceMate Phone. Since calls with ServiceMate Phone are over the internet, you'll need fast, constant, and reliable internet for all devices making calls, being everyone's iPhones and iPads, and computers used by admin or office staff who answer calls. Keep in mind that ServiceMate Phone doesn't replace your phone service or SIM plans for mobile devices, so your field staff will still need SIM plans for mobile data and to make calls that aren't work-related. In terms of hardware, field staff don't need anything further. They just need to install the ServiceMate Phone app to their devices. Office staff taking calls through the online dashboard will need audio and a microphone, with the best option being a quality headset, something like this. You can get corded and wireless types of headsets, and our advice is to get the best you can afford, both for the comfort of wearing them and the quality of phone calls. ServiceMate Phone doesn't support traditional or SIP handsets, so you won't be able to make or answer ServiceMate calls with your desktop phones. If you want to keep your established business phone number and use it with ServiceMate Phone, you'll need to maintain the service for your existing number and forward all calls to your new ServiceMate number. To get started with ServiceMate Phone, activate the add-on. Then click Connect, and you'll drop straight into the setup wizard. First up, decide how you want to handle calls after hours, being outside the operating hours set in your account preferences. You can set incoming calls after hours to divert to the staff member on call, or send them to voicemail. Next, set whether you want to record phone calls by default. You can automatically record all inbound and outbound calls, inbound calls only, as in only when people call your business, or choose not to automatically record calls. Note that for all calls, once connected, you can manually start and stop recording. Now it's time to set a welcome message. This is a message that plays to callers when they call you, before the line connects. Keep in mind that if you've enabled automatic recording, your local laws may require that you notify people that the phone call is being recorded. The welcome message can be a good way to do this. If you don't want to play any welcome message, you can leave this field blank. Next, you need to set your voicemail messages. Your standard voicemail message is what callers will hear when their call rings through to voicemail during business hours, and they can then leave a message. Your after hours message is what callers will hear when they call outside of business hours. Your message here should take into account whether you have staff on call after hours or not. So, if you don't have an after hours service, you might just want to say something like, "Thanks for calling, we're closed, but please leave a message and we'll get back to you." If you do have staff on call, for those times when they can't get to the phone and the customer rings through to voicemail, you might say something like, "Our on-call technician is currently busy, please leave a message and our technician will get back to you as soon as possible." All voicemails will come through to your ServiceMate inbox for review and action. Moving on, your business hours call group is about setting whose phones will ring when someone calls. So, if a client calls, instead of one phone ringing, you can set multiple staff phones to ring at the same time wherever they are. This means you have flexibility, can work remotely, and have the best chance of answering calls. If no one in the call group picks up, the call will eventually ring through to voicemail. Now, with all that done, it's time to set up your devices for ServiceMate Phone. First, everyone with an iPhone or iPad will need to install the ServiceMate Phone app. It's an entirely separate app, so download the app and log in with your ServiceMate username and password. Second, for any staff who answer calls and work with the online dashboard, install the ServiceMate Phone Chrome extension on their computers. This extension enables you to make and receive calls through the online dashboard. It's a Google Chrome extension, so you'll need to use Google Chrome as your primary browser to use ServiceMate Phone online. Follow the link or search ServiceMate Phone in the Chrome Web Store and install the extension. Enable access to your microphone and set your default microphone and speakers. Also note that if you set the speakers to your headset but also have external speakers on your computer, the external speakers will still ring when a call comes in. This means you don't need to wear your headset all the time in order to hear the phone ring. Next, click the puzzle icon and pin the phone extension to your toolbar, so it's always visible. You can then click the icon for quick access to your phone. This icon is also a quick reference because it changes with your status. Green when you're logged into ServiceMate and accepting calls, grey when you're logged in but not accepting calls, and struck out when you're not logged into ServiceMate. With your settings done, the phone app installed on your mobile devices, the Chrome extension installed on your computers, and your headsets configured, test it all out by calling your new ServiceMate phone number. Try some inbound calls by calling your ServiceMate number from a normal phone. Try answering them through the app and online. Also try making some outbound calls, both from the app and your online dashboard. Once you exit the setup wizard, you'll land in your ServiceMate phone settings. You can access this area from your main settings menu and edit your phone settings anytime. Here, you can review your outbound number. By default, your new ServiceMate number is your outbound caller ID, as in, this is the number clients will see when you call them through ServiceMate Phone. But if your existing business number has become an asset with your clients and contacts, then you'll probably want to keep that number as your caller ID. To do this, click Claim Your Number, then set the number you want as your caller ID for all outgoing calls. Next, you'll get a call on your claimed number. Enter the verification code displayed on screen into your phone's keypad to verify that you control the number you're claiming. Once done, you'll see a success message on screen and you can finish the wizard. Lastly, if you're keeping your existing business number, you'll need to forward all calls going to this number to your new ServiceMate phone number. If your existing number is attached to an iPhone, diverting calls is pretty straightforward, as you can set up call forwarding in your iPhone settings. Go to Settings, Phone, then Call Forwarding. If it's a landline or other setup, it'll come down to the specifics of your handset or phone service as to how to forward calls to your new ServiceMate phone number. You may be able to do this yourself, or you may need to go through your service provider. Since you'll only be using your existing phone service to keep the number and forward calls, you may want to check with your provider if you can downgrade your plan. You'll also want to check whether you'll be charged a flat rate or a per call fee for forwarding calls to your ServiceMate number. That's it for setting up ServiceMate Phone in your business. Next, check out our video covering the basics of using ServiceMate Phone. Catch you later.